Many of us believe that avoiding fear makes life easier. We think if we stay in the light, we'll be safe. We build walls, we choose familiar roads, we keep our world small. But what we forget is, the light only matters because of the darkness around it. True courage isn't found in avoiding the shadows, it's found in walking through them. This story is a mirror. And at the end, I want you to ask yourself, am I living bravely, or just hiding comfortably? Once, in a small mountain village, there lived a young traveler named Aaron. He carried a small lantern wherever he went. It was his pride, a gift from his late father, who had once told him, "This light will guide you, but only if you dare to use it." As a child, Aaron had been afraid of the dark. He remembered nights when storms would cut the power in their home, and his father would light the lantern, place it in his hands, and say, "See? The darkness runs when you walk forward." But after his father passed away, Aaron made a silent promise to himself. He would never walk where the lantern's light couldn't reach. If a path was too dark, he'd turn back. If a forest was too thick, he'd wait for daylight. At first, this seemed wise. He avoided danger, stayed warm, and never got lost. But over time, he noticed something strange. The people who returned from the dark paths came back with stories, treasures, and wisdom he didn't have. One evening, an old woman from the village saw him sitting alone. She asked, "Why do you never leave the light?" Aaron smiled. "Because the darkness is dangerous." The woman looked at his lantern and said, "Then why do you carry this light, if not to walk through the dark?" Her words stayed with him. That night, he stood at the edge of the forest, the one he had always avoided. The trees swallowed the moonlight. The air was cold, damp, and smelled of wet earth. His heart pounded so loudly he could hear it in his ears. He lifted the lantern and stepped forward. The light only reached a few feet ahead, but with every step, the darkness moved back. At first, the path was easy. But soon, the ground turned uneven. Branches clawed at his coat. Somewhere in the distance, an owl hooted, and for a moment, Aaron thought of turning back. Then he remembered the woman's words, "Why do you carry this light, if not to walk through the dark?" He tightened his grip on the lantern and kept going. Halfway through, the wind blew hard. The flame flickered. For a terrifying second, the light almost went out. Aaron dropped to his knees, shielding it with his hands. In that moment, he realized the lantern's light was not just for the path, it was for him. It reminded him that even in fear, he could protect what guided him. As he rose, he noticed something ahead, a narrow wooden bridge over a deep ravine. The boards creaked under his weight. Below, the darkness seemed endless. Halfway across, one plank snapped. For a moment, his body froze. But the lantern's glow caught the rope railing, and he grabbed it, pulling himself forward step by step until he reached the other side. Hours later, he emerged from the far end of the forest. In his hands was a rare flower that only bloomed in the deepest shadows. Its petals glowed faintly, as if carrying a piece of the night's mystery. In his heart was a courage he had never known. We are all like Aaron. We carry a light, our skills, our values, our dreams, but too often, we keep it in safe places. We avoid the unknown, the uncomfortable, the risky. But light is meant to be used where it's needed most. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. So ask yourself, what dark path have you been avoiding? And what might you find if you take just one step into it? Because the truth is, you don't need to see the whole road. You just need to light the next step. And maybe, just maybe, on the other side of that darkness, you'll find something rare, not just in your hands, but in your heart. If this story gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs courage today. And subscribe, because next time, I'll tell you a story about how the smallest seed can grow into the tallest tree.